good, y'all? Welcome to my review for Wake Up Dead Man, a Knives Out mystery, the third installment in the Knives Out franchise, man. And overall, man, I gotta say, this isn't my favorite of the trilogy, man. That still goes to the first film. This is easily my second favorite trilogy, and I definitely did like this more than a Glass Onion, though I wouldn't be surprised if a lot of people end up more preferring Glass Onion over this film. Me personally, I can definitely see why, because for some reason I'll get into in this review, man. But me personally, I love him. A lot of that kind of comes down to Josh Brolin and like and just how theatrical the film is, man. Like, there's one thing I love about murder mysteries. I love when they get super theatrical. Not to say the first two didn't have their theatrics. Well, they did. I mean, for God's sake, especially the first one with like that knives chair it had, man. But this one really leads into the theatricality of it, man. A lot like Death in Venice or Haunting in Venice, whatever was the latest one from the Poirot films from Hercule Poirot from Kenneth Branagh, if I pronounce his name right. You guys remember, you guys saw my review for Haunting in Venice. I fucking loved that film. I loved how theatrical it was with the kills and everything, man. And this film definitely leaned into that sort of direction with this film way more than I think the previous two did. Now, I say it's with, like, I have not gone back and watched the first two since I reviewed them. Since I first saw them, man, I have not gone back and rewatched either of these films. I should, but I just haven't really ever felt the need to. But just to get that out there, so my memory of these is not the greatest, man. And there's been massive gaps between the films, so I should probably preface that by saying that, man. But regardless, I love this film, man. I had a blast with it, man, and it was just an overall just fun drive, man. So the movie is directed by, of course, Rian Johnson. Of course, stars Daniel Craig as Benedict Blanc with his Kentucky accent that we all love. Seriously, man, I cannot get enough of the man's Kentucky accent, man. That Kentucky accent is phenomenal, man. Kaylee Spani, if I'm pronouncing her name right, probably not. Andrew Scott, Mila Kunis is in this film. Damn, I didn't even recognize her in the film. Lamau. Jeremy Reiner, Thomas Hainchurch, was great to see him, man. You guys know how much I loved him as Sandman, Spider-Man 3. Also, All About Steve, man. I also enjoyed that film. I know a lot of people don't like that film, understandably so, but, I loved it when I was a kid, man. I still enjoy it, at least whenever the last time I saw one. I enjoyed that film. Josh Brolin and many more. And the plot of Wake Up Dead Man is a baffling death inside a quiet church draws Benedict Blanc into a tense investigation where faith, secrets, and superstition blur as close as the community turns against itself. Now, first of all, man, the cast is soft for this film, and obviously Daniel Craig is a highlight as well. I just gotta say, man, the long hair, man, looks great on Daniel Craig. Daniel Craig looks great with longer hair than we typically see him in the previous films, as well as the Bond films, man. He looks amazing. Like, I dig the long hair with the little stubble he's got going on, man. I fucks with it. I fucks with it hard, man. Josh Brolin is incredible. This is like easily one of my favorite roles of Josh Brolin. What the fuck? Why is Joseph Gordon-Levitt why does he mention the cast, man? He is not in this movie. If he is, he's a blink and you'll miss it cameo. So I kind of question how he's there. Anyway, but yeah, I don't remember, unless he must have been like in the background of a shot or something. But anyway, man, but Josh Brolin, man, this is like one of my favorites, and he's out of the three of the murder victims. The guy from the first movie, man, Edward Nord in Glass Onion, and then this one, man, Josh is my favorite because he is such an asshole. Like, he is probably the one that is the most deserving of the murder that he ends up being. The person that got murdered for, man. He is so fucking funny in this movie, man. He is such a dick, man. He uses his blood purely to spew hate and other stuff just to boost his own ego, man. Like, you guys know that one thing about I love about the Knives Out is that they also throw in like some social commentary and make fun of some of the current shit, man, or some of the people you see in the modern day. Like the first one we had Chris Evans' character making fun of another character, mentioning about like, well, how's that? Was it SJW degree or something along those lines about her? Like, I think it was like about because she had a degree in like gender studies or something like that, man. I forget exactly what he called, but Chris Evans was like my favorite character from that first film. You had the second one with the one chick with the COVID mask that literally was just jewelry that didn't cover up anything, because because I was during like the heat of during like the peak of COVID, when we were all, I think it was still during lockdown when glass line jar, or it might have been just after lockdown had done, but people were still advocating for it. You still had to like wear masks and everything, man. I don't remember the exact time and day, but yeah, that was pretty funny with that chick. And like, of course, the reveal, which, oh, it's so dumb, it's brilliant. No! It's just dumb. And then you got this one, man, where they talk more about grifters. Like, there's this one guy here trying to get into politics, and he literally talks about every single issue, trying to grab everyone, but ends up grabbing nobody, man. There's other stuff like that, similar stuff in the movie as well, and they make jokes about, man. It's one of the things I loved on the Knives Out movies, man. And I kind of glad that once again continues on with the third film, man. Just making fun of people on Twitter and just some of the topics or issues of the day that people are getting pissed off about or whatever. It's really funny, man. I love the social commentary of these films. But anyway, so yeah, he's great, man. Like, as he uses his platform, like it seems like he goes after gay people, because we see like a gay couple like leave out. We see like a black woman, I think, or might have been some sort of other she might have been age, I don't exactly remember specifically, that walked out, man. There was a wife and her child that walked out there after hearing one of his sermons, man. He is so and then probably my favorite scene of his is when our main character that we follow, Father Jude, Jude, if I'm pronouncing his name, played by Josh O'Connor, who's great in the film as well. Where he comes in there, man, he gets transferred to this new church to be a priest there, man, to like work as like an assistant or whatever to Josh Brolin's to Father Jefferson or whatnot, to Josh Brolin's character. And then once he gets there, man, he makes him be his priest and take his confession. And this dude goes off about jerking off like 20 times and doing it in a magazine. I think he also mentioned something about like a dog. Oh yeah, he mentioned about a cat cafe for some reason. I don't remember the specific because I was laughing so hard, man, but that scene had me dying, man. That was probably my favorite scene in the entire film, man. It's just so it is, as Josh Brolin casually retells the story of the various times he had jerked off the previous week or whatever it was. Seriously, man. He was so fucking funny. So yeah, he was great, man. You also got Glenn. Hey! Glenn, shout out to her. I did not know Glenn was also a female name, so you learn something new every day. I did not know this. I did not know my name was multi-general or whatever the term is for whenever a name can work for both genders, like Alex or something. The more you know, I suppose. Anyway, but yeah, she's great, man. She's great, man. As the HWW of the film, hysterical white woman, a phrase that I've taken from Hard Eyes, a horror film that dropped earlier in February, man, that I saw. That's phenomenal, man. It's hilarious. Yeah, like every time I heard like hysterical white woman in HWW, I use that liberally now, because it's such a great because it's such a great line, man. It's such a perfect way to describe various characters like horror films or whatnot, man. It's just funny, man. So I always use. So I've been using it liberally since I saw the film. But yeah, she's great, man, as well. Now, like I said, and also Thomas is great as well, man. Like, he's not in the movie that much, man, but it was always great to see him, man. You know, it always brought a smile on my face just whenever he's on screen, because you guys know Spider-Man 3, man. You guys know ones that love those Raimi films, so it's always good to see him whenever he was on screen. But like I said, I love how theatrical the film is, man. Like, especially once we get to like the big reveal and like how the murder happened, who did it, and all that jazz, man. It gets very theatrical. I don't think it goes as off the wall with it like A Haunting in Venice is, but it gets pretty close. I also gotta say, this is probably easily the best looking of the films of the trilogy, man. The movie is directed to perfection, but it's also shot really well, and I just love the overall set design of the film and just the overall color palette of the film. Now, you guys probably have noticed that the font that this film uses the same font that There Will Be Blood was used for There Will Be Blood. But I swear that I am almost certain that it feels like not only did Rian Johnson steal the font from that movie, which I'm sure is a pretty common font, but I feel like he also took some inspiration from that film in terms of visuals, man. Just like I said, the way the movie shot, the visual look of the film, the overall color palette, reminded me a lot of There Will Be Blood. I have no idea if this was intentional or not, but just kind of when I was watching the film, Chrissy's starting some really nice shots. Like there's this one shot, like whenever we're in the church, or like there's like when we're in like the forest area, man, where it just looks like it goes on forever, man. There's some really gorgeous shots from the forest. It just reminded me of There Will Be Blood for some reason, man. Me personally, I don't know if you guys felt the same way, but for me, it reminded me a lot of There Will Be Blood. I got a lot of vibes from that film in Wake Up Dead Man. So yeah, and the reveal itself, man, I'm not going to get into spoilers on like who did and everything, man, because that's the whole point of these movies, and I love me some murder mysteries. I've been glad that these movies have been making a bit of a resurgence recently with the Knives Out films, as well as the movies like Haunting in Venice and whatnot, man, which hopefully we get another film of that one, man, from Kenneth Branagh, man. You guys know I love these movies, so hopefully that one day we get like a fourth film. Hopefully one day we get a fourth film, because I've been loving these movies, man. Between the two, man, I think I enjoyed these films a little bit more than the Knives Out film, personally, man. But both are phenomenal films, and I hope we get more of each. But anyway, so yeah, like I said, There Will Be Blood. Like I said, the cinematography of the film was great, man. The actual reveal itself might be my favorite in the trilogy so far. I'm not sure. The pineapple juice from Glass Onion, man, was brilliant as well. So like, I'm not entirely sure if I put it over Glass Onion, but I'd say at the very least they're probably neck and neck with one another. Which I think is about all I can do for positive. Oh, and one other thing, can we take a moment to appreciate the film's poster, man? Like, good posters don't really come that often much, because most of the time most posters all look the same, man. So whenever we get a really good poster, man, it really sticks out, man. But yeah, this poster for the film, man, easily deserves to be inducted in the Movie Posters Hall of Fame, man. It is a truly incredible poster. Now, as far as negatives, man, I don't really got a lot. One, honestly, I wish Josh Brolin had more screen time, man. We got more of the movie, man. He was so much fun that I wish he had more screen time, man. Two, I wish we learned, to get like a bit of a minor spoiler, we find out with Jude, before he was a priest, he was actually initially a boxer and ended up killing someone in the ring. I would have loved if they actually showed that instead of it just being like we just hear him speak, but I would have loved to see like some flashbacks, hear like maybe just him like actually beating the guy to death over some narration. I just think it would have been cool we got to see that. Also, my biggest flaw in the movie, man, this is definitely the first for the series, man, is that the main supporting cast that are all the suspects are, besides Jude and to a lesser extent Martha, are a complete non-factor in the film, and they literally contribute nothing. They're not in there. They're not actively involved in the investigation. They just kind of show up when they're needed, and that's it, man. They really contribute nothing to the film, which is surprising considering the cast in both the first film as well as Glass Onion were way more active participants in the actual murder and just the overall investigation than these guys were, which I was kind of surprised that Rian Johnson went in the direction for this third one. So that's definitely probably my biggest problem, is that the supporting cast do really contribute nothing to the filming. Obviously, until we find out who's actually did what, and then all that shit. But like in the lead up to that, man, they literally do nothing. They add nothing to the film, which I was kind of surprised by. But yeah, man. Anyway, guys, we're gonna give this movie a 9.5 out of 10, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Leave a like if you did, subscribe if you're new. Follow me on social if you feel like it. Links are across below, and as always, back for more. See you guys next time.